Oh, man, I hate Mondays.
Nah, man, it's Tuesday.
Wait. What day is it?
You know what day it is. Tuesday. Brewsday, Tuesday.
Oh, fuck yeah. Grab a cold one. It's Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar and Six Pack Store. Here's DreZ and Big Nate.
Oh, can you do it one-handed? I didn't think about that.
I thought I could. I thought I was like a cowboy, but
Either way, it is Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Southern Restaurant and Six Pack Store in downtown Blacksburg. Today, we're doing something special. I would almost say it's kind of almost scientific experiment-esque because we're dealing with Fizzics, although it's spelled Fizzics. This is a product that I guess was on Shark Tank, and my BB gave one to me as a present. And so it's essentially what it intends to do is you take a can or bottle of beer, and it, in theory, gives it that awesome draft drinkability using, I can't remember what they said. I guess I could pull up the thing, but
physics.
It doesn't use physics. It uses like micro, like it says something about sound, micro sound, something that puts the beer through that and makes it just sort of, I don't know, whatever. Either way, basically we're going to try it with a whole slew of different styles of beer. And this first round, I figured it would be the ones that it would make sense that putting it through draft styles, almost kind of making it giving it that little fine extra bubble stuff might make it delicious. So I went with the traditional Guinness Extra Stout. And I did look it up. This is I got this at the foreign section at the Cellar Restaurant and the Six Pack Store. So this one is actually brewed in Ireland. This is the Irish.
Yeah, so that's going to be a first for me as well.
So we have this one over here, and you have, I think, from Starr
Hill's Warehouse Pilsner, which is, I mean, any bar in the USA is going to have a Pilsner or a lager ready right there on tap for you. But I mean, it's already pretty carbonated. If you're watching on a video, you can see.
Yeah, if you are watching on video, you'll see that we poured at least a little bit into a little glass as a baseline, as sort of like, our control in this experiment. So you can get an idea. You can kind of do a compare and contrast between straight from the bottle and or can, in your case, rather than what's been run through the Fizzics. So I'm gonna have to stand up here. So I'm gonna be off the camera, but you're gonna flip yours around to really get the action here.
Watch this happen. I believe you're starting with the Pilsner.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and start with your Pilsner. So you want to hand me the can and your beer mug there.
Seeing my hand-eye coordination is great when I'm watching myself through a video.
All right, so this should be pretty straightforward. I've used it a few times and I haven't quite gotten it exactly down, but you just pop this little bad boy off, and then you're gonna need to open this can a little more because you got to shove. You see underneath there's that metal tube.
Oh boy!
You just insert the metal tube into said beverage.
I would have fouled that all up.
Close it, and then so this tap here, you pull it forward at first and pour the majority of the beer, and then once it's starting to get on the lower side, and this is the tricky part, you actually do a back tap, and that's when it like does super foam mode, and you're supposed to just top it off with that with the head. The problem is it's tricky because you kind of got to get used to, where you are on a glass for a 12-ounce can, for a 16-ounce can, and in this case, this is a glass that I've never even tried to pour in. So this may go, and if you're doing the back pour, in fact, I'm gonna go ahead and get the paper towels. Which were stolen.
Someone stole our paper towels.
We are definitely going to be making a mess in the Bear Studio today. So here we go, and you'll see it looks straight up draft. I don't know if you want to get right up in here and get an idea, but we'll go ahead and get this going. Hear it humming. There you go, nice little draft pour. I'd say that might be about where we'd want to be, and then. Honestly, I don't even know if we want to do the back end thing on that. Maybe we'll just write it. Oh, there you go. So I didn't even do the back little fizzle jam for yours because, well, frankly, it was going to mess up and I didn't know where it was and I ran out anyway. So here's the rest of it. If you want to
Oh,
put
boy.
that in back with your base. And now I'm going to run just some water through it to kind of clear that tube. And then I'll do the stout. So you just run some water through here. But you can tell, I mean, it's got some headiness to it on yours.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Go.
And now for the real bad boy.
All right. Got my cellar glass here. We'll go ahead and give this a pour. I should have a better idea since this is a typical pint glass, although I did steal a little bit of it. So there's that. And then I'm going to try and do the back thing, but just a little bit because you don't want it to overdo it. There you go. So we'll see how this one does. See, and it definitely has
proper pint of Guinness.
Definitely has. It's certainly not your typical Guinness pour, but we'll see how it tastes compared to.
All right, now I need to free up some hands.
There you go. Okay. All right. So, yeah, this will be interesting. In fact, I might even steal the rest of this Guinness because I'm pretty sure there's still a little bit down here. See, if you make the mistake, so you can see there's still a little bit at the bottom there. If you make the mistake of pushing back there and then it getting to the bottom, it's like an explosion and it goes everywhere. And then you get even more of like that's more head than I probably would have wanted. You get like half of, it just completely fills it basically. So I guess first things first is I need to try baseline because I guess I've had the American version of this beer, but I haven't had the actual one from Ireland, which, by the way, I guess we should give it a full traditionally brewed. Obviously, Guinness established 1759. This is their extra stout, coming in at 5.6%. And this is just 11.2 fluid ounce bottle. So I'm lucky I didn't mess that one up. And of course, product of Ireland right there on the back. Intense, characterful, and bold. Guinness extra stout is pure expression of our brewing legacy. Bittersweet with subtle hints of hops, dark fruits, and caramel. This stout is a testament to great brewing.
We've never talked about this before, but does it drive you nuts when you buy like an imported beer and they're using the metric system? Because I feel like you're getting robbed of an 8/10 of an ounce of beer.
Well, but it doesn't. I mean, you would think. I don't know why they don't put like liters on here. Because you're right.
It should say milliliters.
I mean, I guess it's because is this how this label looks over there, or is it just because they're selling in America and this is the American label? It is 11.2 fluid ounces. It doesn't say what that would be. It's not like this is 500 milliliters or whatever. I don't even know.
So I've got the Starr Hill Warehouse Pilsner coming in at 5.5% ABV. This is an American 12 ounces, and I've actually had this one before, but always excited for some Starr Hill.
Now, I almost wish I had poured the base a little heavier to get some head, but it definitely looks like, I don't know if you can pick it up in the video if you're watching Facebook Live or the YouTube, but the head through the Fizzics looks much more refined, like very smaller, thinner bubbles. So I do think this is going to be a smoother drink, and which is why I think that the Fizzics is great for this kind of style of a beer, like a stouts, porters. And I think Pilsner also falls under that category for me of like, you want it to be like a nice, smooth kind of tasting.
How is it?
You got to do the back and forth. As of now, I do think the Fizzics it's smoother. It's nicer. This instance.
I mean, if you were going to put it on Instagram, the Fizzics one for sure looks better.
It does. It really does.
Like
it's got a nice hearty head on it.
That is a beautiful contraption, I think. It's also very it doesn't take up a lot of shelf space. Like in my kitchen, I've got the coffee maker, the toaster, and like I'm running out of shelf space, but that's nice and like narrow and compact.
Yeah, it's actually, I mean, you're talking about in the kitchen. That sits right on the bar, my friend.
I'll have a kegerator down there.
Well, you can put it next to it. You actually have the straight tap, but how are you feeling with yours because you haven't had that one either, have you?
No, Yeah. The Fizzics one tastes fuller.
Fuller.
Yeah, like this one, like I can tell it was out of a can. You could probably, like in a blind test, fool me.
Thinking that
And
that was
an
draft.
actual honest to God draft pour.
Yes, because I know that we kind of, when we were teasing the show in the promo, you do, and I think most people would agree, draft is the preferred method of drink.
100%.
You know, like it's fresher. So I guess it almost gives it that sort of a facade, I guess, you know, like a fake replica of that, I suppose. I don't know.
No, it definitely, I think. And I wonder, you said it kind of uses like ultrasonic vibrations.
That's what I was about. That's what I'm trying to pull up the actual, like, you know,
Because I know that the tap at the bar does not do that.
micro foam technology to convert your favorite cans of bottles of beers to nitro style draft. Where's the how does it work or whatever? Our patented Fizzics micro foam, giving you the perfect pour. Yeah, there it is. Push the handle backward to begin the sonication process. So I guess, unfortunately, yours didn't even have the sonication, the back pour that I did. Applying sound waves to convert the beer's natural carbonation into an ideal microfoam. These uninformed, tiny sized bubbles create the perfect density that delivers the enhanced aroma, flavor, and mouthfeel for which Fizzics is famous. So I almost wonder if it would be, if maybe you only do the back pour, the sonic thing, for ones that you want to have, like the more like this, more a stout or a porter or something that you would want to nitrify. Whereas, like, you know, maybe an IPA, you might not. Nitro IPA, I don't know, but then again, it could exemplify that and make it even more aromatic and flavorful.
I feel like someone's put out a nitro IPA, and I can't remember exactly who it is, but I remember it being different. Different would be the way I put it.
There's probably the nice word.
It wasn't bad, but it was weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you bite into something and you're expecting one thing, and like you grab somebody else's sandwich and it's not at all what you're expecting. That's what a nitro IPA is like.
Well, I mean, so here's the thing. When it comes to untapping these beers, because like I said, I've never had, I guess, this exact, you know, beer from Ireland. Do I base my untap on the unphysicsed? Do I have a caveat and an asterisk? Because honestly, I will say this: the Fizzics, this does taste better through the Fizzics.
Well,
this style of beer for sure.
So for untapped, you've got the option bottle, can, draft. I think you put a score in for can or bottle, and then you put a score in for draft.
I'm glad you bring that up, because I was actually, like I said, I've had this for a couple of weeks. I wasn't waiting to do on the show to try it out.
Something like that, you got to try it.
But I have been pondering that. Like, I've been popping beers, and I'm like, well, wait, do I check this in as a draft, or do I check it in as a can or a bottle?
I think
you might be right. If it's a beer I haven't had and I do taste it as is, and then then you get double the check-ins. By the way, if you are following us on Tapped, DreZ Drinks is my handle.
Big Nate Danger.
There you go, across from me. I am rapidly approaching my 5,000th unique beer check-in. So I'm going to try and time that out to do that on the show with an awesome beer, but I think I'm only like 30 beers away. And I know next week we already have our show planned. So I might drink 30 different beers in the next coming.
So,
especially with the weekend I have coming up. So I don't know if that's going to work out or not.
Would your 5,000th check-in be the end of the show, or would it be the beginning? Like you do it like Pee Wee Herman style, 5,000th check-in and get all jazzed up about it.
I guess it depends. Because like I said, honestly, I mean, I'm going to Incarceration this weekend. I don't know how many different beers and stuff. I know there's a couple breweries up there.
Be careful.
So I might hit it this weekend, unfortunately. And then that goes out the window. But because, I mean, next week we already have our show planned, and a little teaser, a little hint. We're not even going to be drinking beer on that one. So that helps, I guess.
That is a buffer
in some way. But then that's a whole nother week. I don't know. It might be tricky to do.
Look at us planning for the future.
Yeah. Either way. All right. Let me go ahead and untap this. I will. I think I'm going to follow your lead. I think I'll untap this one as a bottle. and untap that one as a draft. I don't know if that's cheating or not, but I feel like that's the way you have to do it.
Gotta. It's for science.
Mm-hmm. So the Guinness Extra Stout from Ireland, the straight up bottle one, I think I think everybody listening to this show knows I'm not a big stout guy. And usually the only way I like a stout or a porter is if it's barrel aged or has like, chocolate or sweetness and stuff. So this one is, it does have some hits, like it said, a little caramel, but mostly it is more bitter than anything. So bottle rating, I'm going to say 3.5. I got to give it a little love because it's like an OG. That's why I grabbed this one, is because when you think of a stout, Guinness is the first one that comes to mind. I don't know if that's, and I don't know the difference between extra stout or whatever. I just grabbed this one because I didn't want to get one that was already nitroed, which was the other one.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay.
Good Lord. I wonder what the thing would do with that.
I didn't even think about that.
Just a whole
like
glass
a double
of
nitro. Yeah. So with that said, I want to say that the Fizzics bumps it up a whole half a point. This is probably a 4 in this glass right here.
I'm similarly aligned. The warehouse Pilsner out of the can gets a 2.5.
It's just so much smoother.
Out of the Fizzics, it gets a 3, which, as anyone who's listened knows about Pilsner, I'm probably never going to give one higher than a 3.
Yeah.
It would be a damn good Pilsner.
Well, that's another reason why I wanted to drink that beer through the Fizzics, because it appeared on my desk. I think did Carrie? I can't remember who did that. Thank you for whoever gave me the beer.
I believe it was Carrie.
But yeah, I'm not a big Pilsner guy. So I was like, well, maybe. And I've noticed different styles that I'm not fond of. I've been putting through the Fizzics, and then I'm like, this is much more drinkable.
It's interesting. She asked me what you would like. I was like, IPA. That seemed obvious. So I find it fascinating.
I ended up with a Pilsner. Whatever. Free beer. You can't complain.
You can't complain.
Beggars can't be choosers. But all right, so there you go. All right, so now the question is, what's it going to do to styles that we already do like? We're gonna throw an IPA through there. And I think I got an amber, if I'm not mistaken, to try through the Fizzics. So we'll take a quick break. We'll play a tune, and we'll come back and we'll do some more experimenting. It's a Fizzics-based Brewsday Tuesday right here on 105.3 The Bear. Stick around.